We're live again. Here we meet. It's been a minute. Glad that we're back. We'll get into a consistent pattern here. But so today we're wanting to play with mindset and how lovely mindset is, but are you actually applying it? I think is kind of my language that I'm coming up with. I think Ian has different language, and that's fine. We'll just have like a fun spirited conversation about this. I will say real quick, I'm Katherine Hood. I'm a happiness coach. If I haven't met you, I love working with individuals and small groups and helping them define what happiness is. Because I think that's what we're all striving for. We're all looking for is this happiness, if you will, or joy or contentment. Everybody has different language that they use, and it's all, pretty similar. But I help individuals really define what happiness is for them and walk alongside them and helping them acquire that, achieve it, cultivate it, protect it, have it, feel it on a daily basis, allowing them to navigate through life's challenges. But go ahead, Ian, introduce yourself and we'll start the conversation.
So happy to be here, Catherine. Thanks for putting it all together. My name is Ian Gregoire. I help professionals streamline life and business so they can do more of what they love. And although I don't call myself a happiness coach, I definitely help people create more joy, peace, freedom, and happiness in their lives and in their businesses. And once again, thank you so much, Catherine, for putting this together and having me on. So happy to be here.
Happy.
Happy.
So, one of the things that I love this topic that you bring front and center today. And one of the things I've really realized, I've been coaching individuals and groups for a long time now, many years. One of the things that I've realized is about session 3 or 5 with individuals is I have this coming to Jesus conversation. And what I mean by that is oftentimes on the 3rd or 5th session, right in that area, I'll have a client, or frequently clients will come to me with the same problem, the same challenge that they're not going through the gatepost. And it's so funny. I'll ask them questions that pertain to the first session. That is kind of like that foundational work that I do with all my clients. And I'll ask them 1 or 2 questions and they answer it perfectly. And I'm like, great job, A+. I could give them an exam and they would get an A+. They would pass it. Like logically, they know the answers. They know the facts. They're like, yes. And they, looking for me to validate them and cheer them on. And I really just have to break their heart and say, look, it's not about the information. And usually on session 3 or 5, they're like, give me more information, give me tools, give me resources, give me the 12 steps to getting this done and getting it through the gatepost. But I think that's what we're in, is we're in this society and this culture of give me more information. When I have more information, then I will be happy. That's not true, right? I make it stupid simple. And it's really covered in that first session. When you really deeply, profoundly understand what we do in that first session, then your life will completely change. And let me just tell you a little secret. I don't have it perfected. It is a lifelong journey. It has layers and layers and layers and layers and layers of depth that no one, not even an enlightened person, has achieved. It's kind of one of those, I don't know, it's like a video game that just doesn't have an ending to it, that you never saved the princess from the castle. So it's really about not having more information. And kind of like the topic is mindset is great, but if you don't have the action steps or action set, if you're not applying it in your own life and seeing it, experiencing it, feeling it, whatever it is, whatever the topic is, you don't know it. It's not about getting a certification, a degree. There's not a finish line. So I'm kind of passionate about this topic, and I'm glad that you brought this forward, because I did have a coming to Jesus conversation this morning with a client. So, it's really going deeper. So I'd love to hear what your thoughts are on this.
Wow. I'm just so impressed with how you talk about that. It's really great. You said something earlier, like different language, and similar or same ideas. And I just want to highlight, like, a lot of what we do, I think, is perspective shifts and helping people look at things slightly different in a way that is useful to them. We talked about that last time with the cowbell example, right?
Mm-hmm.
And oftentimes in subsequent sessions for me as well, session 2, session 3, into the teens and 20s and beyond, there's something on the action item list that's like, no, I still didn't do it, haven't done it for like a month or whatever. And it's like, I can dig around, or just simply ask, is that still important to you? Do you want to carry that forward? Because sometimes we say things and then we think they're good ideas and it sounds kind of good, but then we kind of go along and then things are like not as important. Like for one of my clients, it was like she wants to do something different and she wants to learn how to golf. So it's like, got to go get the golf clubs and take them to the shop just to make sure that they're the right fit for her. Okay. But she still hasn't gotten the clubs out of storage. And it's just like, it doesn't seem that important, but at the same time, I don't want to be like, this is not, seems like it doesn't seem important. And I just think that's a small example of making sure that we ask ourselves, is this still important for me? Is this something that I want to carry forward and continue to do? And on that bigger topic of mindset and action steps or action set, as we were talking before, mindset in the coaching sphere gets a ton of attention and lip service. And it's fantastic because it is so central to living success, doing what you want, creating joy, peace, freedom, and happiness. Mindset, yes, 100%. Are we implementing, my question is, are we implementing mindset practice into our action set? And I posit that action set is the real, like mother master key to success. It's like, okay, yeah, I'm good on mindset. Yeah, I'm good on mindset. Oh, okay. What's your action set? And then what's your mindset action? Mindset is a practice. Mindset is something you do, like brushing your teeth. And so I would like to argue or encourage or inspire people to add mindset practice into their action set. And that's the main point that I wanted to bring up and talk about today, because mindset is something that you do, something that you work on, something that you add into your daily, hopefully daily routine. And that is something that is a part of the action set. And action set is what I'd really like that just to be a thing or be a word or a concept. Like, let's talk about action set. Like, what is your action set? So those are my free frame ideas around this whole idea of mindset, action set, perspective shift. Why? So that people can experience greater joy, peace, freedom, and happiness in their lives.
Yeah. What comes up for me is, if it's really important to you, if it's something that you deeply value, and it's something that is part of your identity, it's who you are, you wouldn't be asking for coaching. You'd just be doing it. So, mindset is a way of being. It's a thought process, and really being in alignment with what is really important for you. Knowing what is important for you, all pervasive. Like, you feel it in your bones. You feel it in your body. It's who you are. So I feel that if I had a brand new client and they're like, I want to have whatever, happiness, and they define it in whatever that is, and I told them that, we've got to you got to have a meditation or some sort of mindset activity every day, and then you got to do this and you got to do that, and then you do this, and then you'll get it. I really think that would come to a space of overwhelm. Because here's what I hear. on that session 3 to 5. Well, I need to know how to do it. Give me how to do it. What do you mean how to do it? There's no how to do it. It's a being. We are human beings. We're not human doings. We're not human. I'm not here to tell you what to do. It's a state of mind that whatever it is that needs to be done, if you will, is very clear because it's who you are, it's who you're being. It's just you don't think about it. It's in your heart, right? You're not in your head, you're in your heart. You're just taking action, right? So I really feel like I have this, so I feel it so deeply that I get up in the morning and I'm so excited to face my day. I'm so excited. There are certain things that I know that protect my mental health and emotional health and my physical health, and it creates this way of feeling really proud and excited about myself at the end of the day. And I know when I hit on all of these things that it just feels amazing and feels incredible. So what is it that's stopping you from believing that you can do these things, right? It's your thoughts. Oh, it's so hard. It's going to be difficult. This is not going to be easy. And, so it's really that's not important to you then. It's no longer important to you. It's not something you value. It's not important to you. It's not who you are. It's not why. It's not part of your why. And, as much as you can sit there and tell me what I want to hear, that at the end of my life, I want it to look like this. But if you're not believing that you can do it and you don't take the steps to figuring out, what it is, who you are, and what you want, and feeling it, it's more of a feeling. I think mindset. I think a lot of people think, oh, mindset is a quote. It's, reading a quote over and over and over and over again, having a meditation and having chants and having affirmations. That's a mindset. Bullshit. It's not. Excuse my language. It's not. It's a feeling. And in order to get a feeling, you have to have healthy thought processes that you envision, you imagine it, you can see it. You could describe it to me in a way that I could paint a picture, I could see it. It's like this powerhouse feeling that you feel in your body and your soul, and there's no thinking about it. So I might have kind of got a little preachy, but told you I'm passionate about this.
Yeah, and it really, there's some thoughts I really want to challenge, just because I think I see some of these things slightly different, but maybe it's just different language, same idea. And because my practice is coaching and consulting, and so part of what I do is ask questions, and part of what I do is tell stories. And sometimes I do tell people what to do, and that's just how my practice has developed. And sometimes, like, there's a guy that came to me who, his mom came to me actually, and he wants to do dog training. I was like, okay, well, we're gonna do a bunch of stuff so that you can go do the dog training. And some of his posts were like, they're all right. And I was like, okay, I want you to, get you and the dog in the photo, and I want you to work on your writing more, and I want you to do these other things. And lo and behold, now he's working with clients with dogs. He's been able to, lift up his dog training, dog walking business. And he's just in the initial stages, but compared to where we were a few months ago, like it's really night and day. Mm-hmm. And so I think sometimes, at least in the way I work with people, sometimes I do tell them what to do. And it's because they don't know what to do, and they've hired me to help them figure out what to do. Not that I know how to do everything, or not that I know everything about everything, or I'm the best way, all that stuff. But I just want to throw that out there. And I'm not necessarily excited when I wake up in the morning, I'll admit. Like, I know that I can be excited. I can work my way into an excited, happy, inspired place if I do some things. And for me personally, saying affirmations out loud, along with getting my body to a place of feeling, is part of what I do and work on with people. And I see that. And once again, it's back to like language, different language, potentially same idea. I think about what you described, the feeling, as like body set and like body chemistry, like championship chemistry. And you do need to do things to have championship chemistry, body set, a good feeling, work out, eat right. I believe that's all a part of that feeling that goes along with mindset. And it all ties together, right? It all gets all tied together. Um, and so I do feel that writing, reflecting, saying things out loud, saying things that are true for us, and having that evolve over time is part of mindset, action set, body set, feeling. And it's something that I do work on with folks and something that I do find important. And so it's just, to me, it's fascinating. Like there's just, there are different ways to enlightenment. There's different paths to success. And I noticed that from studying and living in other countries. It's like, wow, in South America, if you want to make a phone call on the street and you don't have a phone, you go to a guy at a little table with some cell phones on a chain, and you like pay him a little bit of money, and you make a phone call. But you cannot. You can only call other cell phones from, at least at the time, you can only call other cell phones from a cell phone, and you can't. It's like you can call a landline, but a landline can't call a cell phone, and it's just how it works. It sounds completely ridiculous to us, I know, because when I was there, I was like, this is nuts. Like, I can call a landline, but a landline can't call me. They're like, yes. I'm like, that's bonkers. Yeah. But that's how it worked. And so like, but it worked. It's like it functioned. Somehow they made it function. And so like, to me, it's fascinating that different cultures / different coaches can work different, and they can both work and be good. Mm-hmm. That's my rant.
So yeah, we're ranting today. Maybe it should be free rant, freestyle ranting.
Ooh, I like it. Real rants. Free friends and real rants.
There's a big difference between coaching and consulting. 1000%. It's two totally different hats. Just like I wear a personal training hat, it's not coaching. It's very, very different. I tell you what to do. I tell you how to properly have proper form. I tell you, consult you in how it feels and making sure you have correct mind muscle connection and you're not in pain, right? Discomfort good, pain bad. But it's so totally different. Consulting, personal training, teaching, educating, mentorship is also in a whole space of its own. So it's really important to have clarity on what coaching is and isn't. So I guess where I stand is with how human behavior is and how humans learn is unique to every person, like their fingerprints. Like we all learn a little bit differently. And, kind of where I was going with this is how do we, what is a disconnect? If you tell me that you have a healthy mindset, you tell me what you want and you're not doing it, session 3 or 5, and you're still not doing it. You're not experiencing it. You're not feeling it. So for me, my coaching is really about experiencing your life differently, right? So that's the whole reason why I call myself a happiness coach, is it's about experiencing your life from feeling happy. Most people come to me and they're miserable, they're angry, they're fearful, they're upset, they have anxiety, they have stress, they have all the things, right? So I move them from experiencing life from all of those ways into experiencing life differently. So there's really not steps to it. Experiencing life differently is a feeling. And how do we get to that feeling? Right. So it's really about going inside. It's not finding the feeling on Google. It's not finding the feeling in another book, another course, another program, another class, because you're going to be searching your whole life. It's not external, it's internal. So I love quotes. You'll see that in all my podcasts. You'll see it in a lot of my material. I love quotes, but a quote is not going to set your heart on fire and get you into action. I did a thing years ago. This is why And I'm not down on affirmations and chants. I'm not downgrading it. If it's beneficial for you, great. But what I did is many, many years ago, I ran into this situation where this individual, this class I was taking or whatever, they're like, oh, we're going to set the timer for 10 minutes. You can doodle, you can write I am statements, blah, 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 blah. She gave a whole bunch of ideas. So I took it upon myself to write I am statements for the entire 10 minutes. And that 10 minutes flew by. And I felt so good after I did that, that I was like, I'm going to do this every day. And I did for a long time. I don't remember how long it was, 8 months. I don't know what it was. But I had this realization, and it hit me month 8 or whatever it was. I don't remember. It was a long period of time. I had this realization that my hand was writing, but my head, my thoughts were in a whole nother place. I was writing the same thing day after day after day, almost identical. So again, the brain loves to conserve energy, and the way it conserves energy is by looking for patterns, and it'll continue to repeat patterns, right? Repeat, 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 repeat. So those words had no energy behind them anymore. There was no feeling behind them. My head was off thinking about what's for dinner, or, what am I going to get in the mail, or what is in my inbox. I need to check my email. So that's why I'm not a fan of chants and affirmations and repeating things. It's really about experiencing what I show, and I educate and teach my clients on how the brain, thoughts, consciousness all work in tandem and how we create our reality. So it's really about an experience. You've got to feel a good feeling and make it familiar to make it a habit. You've got to know how to do that in a way that you create and attach a good feeling to it, to shift to a new way of being, creating a lifestyle, creating whatever that is that you're wanting to create, whatever we figure out together. And however they describe it, I use their language. So that was my come from, and not discounting affirmations or chants. If that's what you do, that's great. That's awesome. If it works, amazing. I just find it to be, after day 3, I don't think I was conscious.
That makes a lot of sense. And I appreciate you like going into that, because it's another thing where affirmations can get a lot of lip service. And if you're not careful with them, or use them, create them consciously, or recreate them daily, they can start to just be unconscious and untrue. And I think that, revisiting them daily, and perhaps even rewriting them daily, especially if they're not resonating, is a thing. And I love to use like I'm learning to, because I think that's a real honest statement, and it gives grace, and it challenges at the same time. And it's something that I use to, it's kind of like a mindset, right? For being able to learn a foreign language, which it happens, day by day and overnight, truly, but like it happens over a 10-year period where you learn, or at least how I learned another language, right? And so, having learning to statements I found useful for myself and for others. And then it's just so fascinating to me, because like, I don't wake up like, yeah, I'm ready to work out, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get my workout. That's not how I like feel. Like I feel like, oh man, like I just woke up, like, whew. But I know that after a workout, I will feel a lot better. And I think people work differently. And so oftentimes you have to do something, and then you'll have a feeling. It's like, I'm not necessarily inspired, like, wow, this is great, like before, but once I do the thing, I'm like, yeah, that was good. That was good that I did that. I'm happy about that investment of time, money, energy. And those are my thoughts on this conversation.
Right on. Right on. Great observation. Great awareness. And I love how vulnerable you are and willing to be, honest with how you feel and your experience, because we all experience things differently, and we find success in our own lives differently. That's why I love coaching is it's really one of the metaphors that I've been using a lot lately is my client and I are getting a car, and my client is in the driver's seat. I'm in the back seat, so they're driving the car. So at the beginning of each session, it's like, what are we going to work on? What do you want clarity on? What do you, I word it differently every time, but they're the ones that tell me, where we're going. I'm in the back seat. I'm nowhere near the gas pedal or the wheel. So they're the ones that are telling me what their problem is, what their challenge is, and where we're going in their car. Right. And so they're the ones that are going to be driving. I'm just going to be asking really powerful questions to help them understand why the car's not moving. What's stopping you from moving and activating that car. And oftentimes it's fear, right? Some sort of fear. And so that's what we go deep into that and figure out what that is and reveal it, see it, thank it, make peace with it, befriend it, and understand how our mind works. Our mind is not a body part. We can't point that out. I help my clients understand how their brain works. I help them understand their consciousness and how their thoughts create their feelings, and it can either stop you from doing things, or it can powerfully move you into really being a powerful human being. You can have anything you want, and more. So that's just really the kind of the modality that I work through and have trained. And like you talk about learning, I study and learn and educate myself at least 2 hours a day. So it's almost like I actually do more physical exercise. Usually I'm 30 minutes to an hour and a half daily. So I train my brain more than I do my muscles. First time I've ever said that out loud. So, I really value the power of a brain and how so much of it's unused. And I'm like, challenge accepted. Let me see how much of this brain I can utilize and how it can take me places. But on that note, I feel like that was a really great conversation. I'd love to hear from you guys, your comments, your feedback. Post in the comment section. Give us a thumbs up, green light, whatever. Give us some social credit by commenting or tagging people or sharing this video if you think that somebody would benefit from it. But any final words?
Yeah, I just love how you tapped into this idea of use your brain like as an advocate for yourself, not like something that's going to stop you from doing something great.
Yeah. Oof, solid. Love it. Thank you, Ian.
Thank you, Katherine. Great discussion today.
You as well.
See you guys.
See ya.